We're finally ready to announce FFC's weekly shows for the 2022 season, which shows made the weekly starting lineup, and which shows have been sidelined. We'll also provide important news about FFC's NFL Survivor Pool. And given late-breaking news, we're going to provide an alternative DraftKings Week 1 cash lineup. Plus, Michael Wiley and I make our Super Bowl winner pick. It's a jam-packed show, and it's coming up next. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Lee with the Fantasy Football Consultants. Believe it or not, this marks the 12th straight day that we've released a video on this channel. We have never done anything like that before. So we want to make sure you haven't missed any of our content. This is all our preseason content so far. All the links to all of these shows are in the description. And I want to quickly highlight all the work we did in the off season in preparing for the key metrics for success shows. Co-founder Gary Kurtzman and I did a deep dive at looking at what metrics you should be considering when picking a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and a tight end. All right, we have a lot to cover on this show. We are going to give our Super Bowl picks and a revised DraftKings lineup for cash for week 1. We'll timestamp it in case you want to go directly to that material. But first, we're going to cover something really important, talking about what to expect for this year on our channel, and we have a major announcement. All right, here at the FFC, we believe in appointment television. We want our audience to know every Wednesday what shows they can expect on this channel, and we're ready to announce those shows. And the first show that's going to be part of our weekly lineup is our FanDuel show. We're really proud of this show. This is actually our most popular show in our channel. I think it's partially because there's little competition of people doing what we do, which is provide a full cash lineup each week on FanDuel and a full GPP lineup on FanDuel. The second show that you can expect each week is DraftKings. We'll do a cash lineup and our favorite GPP plays. We're going to continue with our tradition, which is building full lineups. We just don't see the value of just talking about, hey, here are guys that we like, without actually going through the process of building at least a cash lineup. It tells you the consequences of paying up for a top guy and the benefits of a value player, but who else you can put in your lineup. So guess what? When we give you the lineup, 9 guys, 6 of them you might go, I'm on board. I really like those ideas and those picks, but 3, you guys are crazy. And you're going to swap those guys out with players who you like. And I think that that is great. One thing that will change this year, we're not going to provide to you on late Saturday or early Sunday morning, this is our final lineup and this is the best lineup to go with, nor will we report out that FFC's lineup did this score the following week. And after a lot of discussion and thoughts in the offseason, we believe the best way to run this channel is to make it about you guys and not about us. So we're going to stay focused on giving you what we think the best plays are, the latest news, and let you make your final decision for what's right for you. So here's what we really ask our FFC community to do. After they watch our video on Wednesday, start to participate in the comment section. I know, I get it. Some of you think of us as like a television show. You watch, you turn it off, great. But what we really want to do is get you engaged in the comment section. Even if you are someone who's never done it before on YouTube, please share your thoughts. What do we want to hear from you? After watching the video, we want to know what you think. Tell us what your favorite cash game players are on the weekly slate. What are some of your favorite GPP stacks? After watching the show, what did you really like about a lineup? Especially if there was a player you were not on, and after hearing our analysis, you're sold and you're like, I really like this particular player this week. Also, we want to hear constructive criticism. Tell us, who would you take out of your lineup and why, and who would you replace him with? as the week goes on, if there's any news that is not in our video, break it to our audience by telling us the late breaking news and what you think the impact of that is. You also can use the comment section to ask a question. Now, you shouldn't always just ask a question. You should also respond to others' questions, but I think that that's great. You can respond to other people's questions and comments. I would just ask that everyone please be respectful. That is a hallmark of our FFC community. It is okay to disagree. It is okay to say that you have a different take than us or someone else in the comment section, but please do it respectful. It is the only reason why I will ban someone for the channel. Someone who's being disrespectful or talking about something that is completely irrelevant. We are going to reward our consistent contributors who provide quality comments. So starting about in the midpoint of the season, we are going to allow all of our consistent contributors to be entered into a free contest, a series of free contests to win real money. We'll obviously provide you more information on this as we get closer to the middle of the season. Let's just give you an example of a copy of a comment section in our FFC video that I really like. Someone asked a question, others responded, everyone was respectful. Awesome. This is the type of the thing we'd like to see in our comment section. So I've given you the good news. Unfortunately, now I have to give you the bad news. Because of that, our time is not limitless, and we want to do a really good job on the shows that we are going to be committed to doing. There are other shows that will not be a part of our regular weekly content and honestly will appear rarely. The biggest news is our NFL Survivor show. Our NFL Survivor show, we have done all 4 of our first 4 years. So it's a real painful decision. For the first year, we will not have a regular NFL Survivor show, and we will not run an FFC Survivor contest. Now, in the past, we have done one on CBS Sports, and I have noticed some of our loyal followers have already signed up for it. So instead of like canceling it or deleting it, we'll keep it going on CBS Sports, but it will not be associated with any prizes, and it will not, we won't be talking about it weekly on the show. Now, this is only a 1-year decision. We're going to evaluate it in this off season. And my personal hope is that it will return next year, but we'll have to assess. We would like all of our FFC community to sign up for Yahoo's NFL Survivor contest. Michael Wiley and I will be doing it as well, and we will talk about if we're still alive in that contest on the show periodically. So it is a free to enter contest. So that was really important to us. No cost to sign up. And they have one grand prize worth $6,000, a Las Vegas trip plus accommodations, which is valued at $5,000, plus $1,000 in cash. So here are the rules for Yahoo. You select one team per week, 1 through 12, 2 teams per week in weeks 13 to 18. Just like all Survivor pools, once you select a team, you cannot select that team again. And if your team ties or loses, you are out. It is over. And the player that survives the longest will win that grand prize. It is a bigger pool than what FFC has, so it is possible that more than one person makes it to the end. And if that is the case, entries are going to be ranked by the combined record of the NFL teams that the person has not selected. So I think it's going to be a really fun contest. Here is the link you can use to sign up and make your picks. This is the main slate on DraftKings for week 1. Now, I want to remind you that if you did not see the video that we did for preparing the cash lineup on DraftKings, we'll put the link up there. You're going to want to watch that video. It's a full cash lineup, and it is a great cash lineup as long as Mike Davis plays. The problem is, what if J.K. Dobbins is active this week? So we gave you a pivot to Kadarius Toney, but A, there's no guarantee that he's going to play, And B, we actually have another pivot in this lineup that we like more. So it changes a couple of the players. All right, let's talk about the players that we're keeping from our lineup in the previous show. Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon. Now, they're expensive, but we are expecting them to come up big this week. Both players are bell cow backs, both in great game scripts with good implied totals and big favorites. And they benefit from getting a good offense, a strong offensive line in Jonathan Taylor, and an improved offensive line for Joe Mixon, playing defenses that aren't great against the run. And at wide receiver, we got Michael Pittman and Rashad Bateman. These guys are both number one wide receivers on their team in good matchups against weak defenses with really nice implied totals, and most importantly, at really good prices on DraftKings at $5,500 and $5,300. And the guy that we've talked about probably more than any other tight end this week, Cole Kmet, just because he's so darn cheap on DraftKings. And we really do think that he will have an increased role on Chicago with the departure of Jimmy Graham, who was a big touchdown hog and threat, and Allen Robinson. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that Cole Kmet becomes the number 2 targeted guy behind Darnell Mooney in the Chicago offense. All right, so the question is, where do we go from here if we're not going to use Mike Davis or Kadarius Toney in our lineup? Well, let's go really close to Kadarius Toney and attack that New York Giants wide receiver core. Not something that you normally will say because it's a mess. It's a partially mess because of injuries. We're not sure if Sterling Shepard will play. We're not sure whether Kadarius Toney will play. Now, to be fair and honest, both guys look to be trending that they will play, but we'll have to continue to watch on that. Right now, the Giants are saying that Wan'Dale Robinson will be a starter in the slot. So if that's the case, and that continues to be the case, we think he is more than worth the gamble at $3,000. Look, this could be a bust. He's a guy that if we can just get the ball in his hands, he can make some things happen that are pretty exciting. I think the Giants will use him on a run play or two, and I think they can complete some really short passes to him, which is really great on DraftKings with a full PPR. Also, I am going to pay down at quarterback. So we're pretty high on Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, but those guys are a lot more expensive. I'm going to save money. It's not with the guy who you think, Daniel Jones, who it looked like I had on there, but I'm going to go at $5,300 with Jameis Winston. And here's why. So when we originally were considering Jameis Winston earlier, right when the pricing came out, we didn't know what type of weapons he would have. It looked like Alvin Kamara might be out. It looked a little bit like Michael Thomas might be out. Well, Alvin Kamara is definitely going to play, even though he continues to have legal problems. And the last word out of New Orleans is Michael Thomas is expected to start next week. So along with those two weapons, plus they signed Jarvis Landry and rookie Chris Olave against an Atlanta Falcon team who last year was not a good defense. So we like Jameis Winston at $5,300. And here's the power. By paying down with Robinson and paying down with Jameis Winston, it allows us to do something we're really excited to do, and we were lamenting that we couldn't do, which is to get Christian McCaffrey in our lineup. Folks, it is a really 1A, 1B on whether you want to start Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey on DraftKings. The bonus on McCaffrey is he's $600 cheaper. The other bonus is the guy usually gets so heavily involved in the passing game. He's also a risk on DraftKings to get the bonus on either rushing or receiving. So happy to get him his lineup. And guess what? We have $2,500 and we don't have to go dumpster diving at defense. The Commanders are at home. They are favored against a Jacksonville offense that was awful last year, ranked 31. So we'll see if they'll be improved. They did sign and throw a lot of money to Christian Kirk, but I do feel a lot more comfortable with the Commander defense than some of the guys at the bottom, like the Lions and the Raiders. So that is our alternative cash lineup. All right, let's reveal our Super Bowl pick. Last year, and I've been bragging about it, at the beginning of the season, I nailed the LA Rams as the Super Bowl champion. Michael and I were on tune with the Rams at the start of the playoffs. Let's see if we can make it 2 for 2 in our Super Bowl picks. Let me reveal it. Drum roll, please. My 2022-2023 Super Bowl pick is, bam, the Buffalo Bills. And I talked to Michael Wiley. He agrees. So both of us are going online picking the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl. We'll see if we can make it 2 for 2. All right, folks, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thanks so much for the support of this channel. I want you guys to take care, have a great week 1, and let's enjoy some NFL football this weekend.